Hello, everybody, and welcome to Health Confidential with Simone Gisondi, the podcast where the secrets of the body meet the mysteries of healing. Each week, I explore the powerful world of holistic medicine, blending ancient wisdom and cutting edge science, conventional insight, and unconventional truths to decode some of the toughest cases and the most misunderstood conditions. I'm a certified holistic cancer therapies practitioner, a registered holistic nutritionist, and certified regenerative detoxification specialist. I am not a medical doctor. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. The diagnosis and therapies discussed here may not be right for you. Please consult a qualified healthcare medical provider before making changes to your health. To learn more about my work or to experience the power of the custom-made healing protocols that I develop, designed specifically for your unique body, your unique biochemistry, your history, and your internal terrain, visit simonegisondi.com and book a private consultation with me. And if this episode speaks to you, follow me on Instagram at simone.gisondi and share this episode with someone you love. Thank you for listening, and welcome to today's episode of Health Confidential.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Health Confidential. I'm your host, Simone Gisondi, and first and foremost, I want to take the time to apologize to you all. My microphone broke down, and I am using good old-fashioned Apple. So today, I might not sound as crisp as I usually do, but I promise you I'm going to make up for it with the content you're about to hear. So, if you're new here, this is a podcast where I'm going to explore health far beyond symptoms, as I always do, and far beyond diagnosis. I'm going to dive deep into stories, experiences, beliefs, biology, psychology, and yes, even spirituality, one of my favorite topics, and most importantly, human resilience that shapes our lives and, of course, our health. And today's conversation includes discussions of, sit down for this one, addiction, substance abuse, suicide attempts, trauma, strokes. So some of you may find these topics distressing, so please take care while listening and pause the episode if you need to. And I want to start off with a disclaimer before I introduce my amazing guest. So today's views and experiences shared in this episode are those of my guest and myself, and we are presenting these as personal accounts of my guest. And the conversation is intended for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered medical, psychological, or mental health advice. However, you are going to get a lot of inspiration out of them because it's going to show you what's truly possible. So if you are someone you know is struggling with the things that we're about to talk about, such as addiction, suicide thoughts, or a mental health crisis, please seek support from qualified professionals or emergency services in your area and seek the help that you need. And there's a multitude of it. It's never, ever just one thing. And if you haven't listened to my last episode, please go ahead and listen to that one, where my guest Lisa M. Harrison actually talked about how everything, bar none, everything under the sun and on planet Earth can be healed. Now, with that being said, this is going to be an extraordinary story of suffering, survival, transformation, and hope. And my guest today started rehab at the age of 15 and was in rehab at least 20 times. Yes, you heard that right. And she actually, obviously, due to all of the substance abuse and, in and out of rehab, the body breaks down because obviously the body has its limitations. And that happened due to what she put her body through. In fact, and she's going to speak more to this, her spine broke down and she was bedridden for years and had to be cared for by caregivers, which eventually led to a multitude of strokes. But here she is looking amazing. And this is Jane Dawson. Jane, I know that I can never do justice to who and all that you are, so I would love it if you could let the listeners know a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. That's so sweet. It's weird that you shared that's my life. That feels weird. That's me. And I survived and then I thrived. It's like, it's
look at
crazy.
how great you look. For those of you that are watching this on YouTube, you get to see that she's shining and glowing, and her hair is so. I mean, you look amazing. Your skin is clear and your hair is thick and luscious. And you are obviously, I know that you detox because you and I had the conversation, and I really want to go deeper into these things. But I really want people to know your story from the beginning to end, but more importantly, who you are today, because that's like who stands in front of them is the person that you have actually worked hard to become.
Yes. Thank you. That's beautiful. Thank you. Yeah.
So let's start at the very beginning. I really want the audience to meet you, the girl before everything fell apart. So, who were you before everything fell apart? The innocence, the girl that was just living life.
As a girl, I think I was a little naive. I trust people, very loving. I remember my uncle said, Jane, when you were 3, you give everybody hugs, and he was concerned because I loved everybody. And then I think it was junior high. I was bullied. And looking back, why? I know why, because I developed, developed,
Developed?
yeah. So my stroke, some speech, some words are hard. So, because I
Yeah.
got tall and look like so old, I look so mature, but I was 12, and the older girls didn't like me, and they bullied me so bad that my friends left. Um, and that time, my mom said, "Kill them with kindness." Well, that didn't work for me. I suppressed all my pain, and then I was thinking about suicide that time.
Oh
And
my
my mom
gosh.
sent me to some psychologists, and they said, "Hey, your daughter want to kill herself, so you have to do something." So for my how I handle that, I started drinking.
Oh wow. And how old were you this time?
At
And
11, 12.
oh my gosh, you started alcohol at such a young age. Because I wanted to
Because
know, so when you think back to your childhood, what do you remember most? Does that stand out as, I guess, the most important thing? And was anything happening in your home, or was it just the school
no,
bullies?
my dad was an alcoholic. Drank
Okay.
every day of my life, but he was absent. I'm always going to bars after his work and drinking and lots of women, affairs. I guess we will move because there's his affairs. So, also he had like Playboy magazines everywhere. So that was my household, drinking, women, that type of energy. So, I was so sweet, real smart, kind girl.
Happy.
Yeah, I didn't understand how people are so mean. I was so confused. Why? I knew I didn't anything. Well, why they're so mean? I thought something wrong with me.
Yeah,
So
like usually
drinking.
we usually internalize that and we turn it against ourselves, even whether it's parents or family that kind of mistreat us, or people that are even complete strangers or schoolmates. We always look at ourselves to say there's something broken within me, or I am broken, which is why I'm on the receiving end of this kind of behavior. Because if I was good and whole and perfect, they would actually love and accept me.
Right. I think that's everybody wants to feel that way.
Yeah.
Accepted and loved.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
what would you say at that time that you yourself loved? What did you love?
At that time I loved dancing as my love, passion.
That was your
Yeah,
passion.
yeah. So I use alcohol to numb these feelings, and looking at my father drinking every day and the way he act, I thought I had to be that woman on the Blade Boys. So, and then lots of relationship with men, and then I was raped. I was 15.
Oh my gosh.
It was a hotel party. I passed out, and an older, he was like 18, I think, raped me. So more drinking, and but by the time I was 15, I knew I had a problem.
You did.
So I knew
Did
I knew I was, yeah.
did your parents notice that you had started the drinking, or was it because your father was so absent in his own world? He was he was so kind of caught up in what he was doing that he just didn't have the time to pay attention
Well,
to you.
you after my parents divorced, I was 10, 11. So my mom married another man. His name is Mark. Um, Mark was having kids, not like a dad type of person, father um, figure. So no dad. And my brother was older, didn't want anything to do with me. So um, I knew I had a problem because my mom sent me to Alateen.
Okay.
Alateen are for teens for have parents who were alcoholic. So I remember one time at one of those meetings, I knew there was an AA meeting across the room hall, and I knew I need to be there. I knew I had to change because I knew I had a problem. So I tried to stop myself, but I couldn't. So my mom put me in a drug rehab. I think it's 15. So
On that note, what did your mom say? So your mom obviously remarried,
mhm.
and I'm assuming that she started investing in this new relationship to the degree that she just didn't have the time to guide you or to. Did you
You
tell
know how
anyone
it's
that?
hard being a parent for you have a ex-husband who's an alcoholic, her daughter's an alcoholic, and then her new husband is also an alcoholic. So,
So you got that sort of reinforced now from the new husband.
she gave him a ultimate. So he said,
Ultimatum, yeah. To
and he said he chose to be sober since then.
That's
Yeah.
amazing to salvage the relationship.
Hmm.
That's beautiful. Had you told anybody in your family that you got raped?
I don't think so.
Not even your mom.
I don't think so.
I mean, were you aware of the fact that it happened? Because you
Oh
mentioned
yeah.
earlier that okay, so you were aware. You were conscious enough that you were able to know what had happened when it happened.
Oh yeah. It
Oh
was
my gosh.
trauma for sure.
And what did you do from that? Did you just sort of continue and added more alcohol and more
Mhm.
alcohol to numb the pain of that? Because that's usually what people who are traumatized do. Even from my own, it can go in two different directions from what I've seen and understood. Some people go to numb the pain, and typically they do so through different the abuse of substances that kind of take you out of the reality that you're in and gives you a break from feeling the pain. And then there are the others who kind of try to shut down and I'm one of those, who try to shut down the pain by distracting yourself. So you become
Mhm.
this overachiever, perfectionist, and
Mhm.
this is what I did. I was obsessed with doing the things that I did in the gym to be able to achieve, a bigger personal record, squat more, run faster, faster mile
Sure.
on an incline, achieve more, get better grades, get a better job, make more money, and so on and so forth. And so you went down the path of the addiction and being able to numb the pain through substances. When did life begin changing, or did it just kind of continue
Well,
on
I,
that
I did
course?
I did get sober for 4 years after that, but I changed for from food for um restrict food. So I changed to food after I got sober. So I was so thin.
Oh,
So my parents put me in a different rehab for different type of addiction, food, drugs, gambling. So that was 18, I think. And then at 20, I started drinking again because I was so young. I can control my alcohol. I was just too young. I'm fine. So, and then it's hard to control drinking when you really a real alcoholic. It's hard. So,
but
and
going back to that, Jane, tell me about tell me about it, like about the first time. Like, what were you feeling that day when you just decided to be like, okay, I'm just gonna have a drink? Like, I know that sometimes I joke around with people when I have a hard day, let's say, and it's
mhm.
overwhelming and you're stressed out and you're like, oh, I need a drink. I need like a very stiff drink. Like, people joke about that because it's like it takes the edge off. But so what were you feeling that day, when the first time, when going back to when you were 15, and who gave it to you? Was it your dad? Was it anybody at
So it was
school?
as I was 20. I was staying at my dad's house. He was out vacation and he has lots of alcohol everywhere. I was planning it.
Ah.
I was planning it. Yeah.
But back in the time when you were younger, like around the time when you were 15-ish or so, when you started drinking, and of course you ended up at that hotel party, how did you get started drinking at that time? What was the first time that you're like, I'm just going to have a drink?
The first time I drink, I think it was 11.
Oh my gosh, so not even 15.
No.
Okay, and who gave it to you? What, who
I
handed
remember
it to
the
you?
first time I drank. It was a friend's slumber party. It was all these girls, and she stole some alcohol from her parents. It was like vodka. So I put like a small cup around all of us. I remember we were in a circle. So at one time we all drink. Most people hated it. I loved it. So I drank everybody's. Oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And I remember passed out and threw up in the bush outside. And I black out. The first time I drank, I had blackout because I'm a blackout alcoholic.
Wow.
So I remember the next day, okay, I want to do it again.
Yeah, and I
Because
want to tell.
finally I feel like I feel so great. I feel like normal. You
Did
feel
did
like
it? Did you remember, like, so you threw up, and I remember like the first time when I did this when I was about 19, the first time that I got drunk and I was out with like a whole bunch of girlfriends, and we drank and we kind of did the same thing that you just described, and we were doing shots of this really hard liquor because that was the only thing that was left at the. We were at this cottage, and that was the only thing that was left at the liquor store, and we bought it because it was like alcohol, and we started doing shots with these espresso cups because that's all there was at this cottage. It wasn't our place. And I remember I got so drunk, and of course the next day I remember making a pact with God. I was the driver. I was designated driver. I was driving at that time. I was driving a convertible, so I was the designated driver. I drove all my friends. We were out of town about 2 hours, and I remember when we left from there, it was raining, and I put the top down despite the fact that it was raining and it was going to rain in the car. And I didn't even have leather seats. I had like cloth seats. It was an older car, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, God, I promise you, I will never, ever, ever touch alcohol again, but please just make me feel better right now. And then, of course, we would do like, I would pull over when I threw up, and then I would pull over and for
oh
each
yeah.
one of my friends to throw up. But I remember how shit I felt that I'm like, fuck this, I'm never going to touch alcohol again. But you loved it.
Awful.
Did it not take you back to the time of yesterday or the day before when when you were so sick that you needed to throw up?
Mm-mm. I
I
didn't care.
know. Wow. Because I'm fascinated by that, because I know that either you go back to the moments when you're like, because in the moment when you're drinking, it feels great. That's
Hmm.
why you drink, because it feels great. It takes the edge off. You feel good. Your all of your
Everything's fine.
inhibitions.
I feel like a
Yeah,
normal person.
and it's in the company of other people, so it's like the entirety of the experience, right? You have the experience of camaraderie, you have it's a social experience, and it's the alcohol is just part of that experience. And all of a sudden you're like, I felt great and it was so good in the moment when everything was fun. So you either imprint that in your mind that it makes you want to go back to experience it again, or some people concentrate on, oh my gosh, I felt so shit. I don't ever
Mm-hmm.
want to do that again.
But I was in a blackout state, so I don't remember being sick.
Oh wow. Okay, so you the sickness came when you were not even conscious, for
Hmm.
lack of a better
Hmm.
term.
Hmm.
Okay. So when did you realize, so this happened when you were 11. When did you realize this wasn't recreational anymore? It was like, oh my gosh, I'm an alcoholic.
Maybe a couple of years after, because all my focus is about alcohol. How can I get another one? How do I get, like, it's hard when you're young to find alcohol.
Yeah.
And I go, oh my gosh, okay, I have a problem. And I think I always wanted to feel like cleansed and healthy and um, like healthy emotionally, mentally, physically. So I know when I was drinking a lot and my focus all about alcohol, oh, okay, I see. There's a problem here.
Yeah,
And
what did let's say I couldn't stop actually look like?
well, when I finally knew I have a problem, okay, this weekend I won't drink. Or the party, I won't drink. And then there I am drinking. You cannot stop.
And
Or if you try to control, okay, I will drink two drinks. That's all, Jane. That's all. But when you start, you cannot stop. It hijack your brain so fast.
that's right. That's right. Did you steal the alcohol? Did you
So
get
many
people to
times.
buy it for you? How did
Yeah,
you get
that too.
access?
All that stuff. Men, all that stuff.
Yeah, because I remember people when I became of age, people would be outside of the liquor store and they would ask me like, "Hey, can you buy me like I'll give you $20 if you buy me some alcohol." And it was sort of like because these people were so desperate to get access to it. But at this juncture, I want to ask you, okay, so I just told you the story of like my first time when I got drunk and at this time I was about 19, 20. And it was such a horrible experience. And for those of for those in the audience that know me and have followed me for a while, I had such an obsession with my looks. I felt like that was my currency, okay? Because I was very, what's the word? Conditioned, right? Like a woman's currency is her looks, and I looked good. I mean, not to say that I'm like not I don't look good now, but I looked good, and I was terrified of being fat. I was terrified of aging like prematurely. So I went out of my way to do things. So I started getting scared that if I drink, I'm gonna get like wrinkles and I'm gonna age and I'm gonna look like those people that are alcoholics and they look like shit, literally,
Mhm.
right? So I thought, okay, so I'm not going to drink anymore. So the next time I got drunk, fast forward, I think I was about 25, 26, literally. Like I never liked getting drunk. I'd get tipsy, I'd feel good, but never drunk. So like I'm gonna tie this up because the question's important. So fast forward to that time, I was with my ex-husband and we weren't married yet, but I was with him, and we went to the cottage of this friend. And this friend was we were at the cottage of the friend's girlfriend, and we started drinking as any 20 something year olds would, right?
Mhm.
We
Yep.
ate and we were watching sports. The guys were watching their hockey. Up here in Canada, it's the national game of the country. And then we decided that we're going to start drinking because it was like a weekend. We were at the cottage. We're not going to go anywhere. So it's like, what are you going to do tomorrow? There's nothing to wake up for. And we're maybe just going to
Why
go for a
not?
walk, right? So, yeah, so let's just drink. We already had our youngest son, and he was playing with there were other kids there, so we started drinking. And let me tell you, I got so drunk, okay? I mean, like, throw up drunk, not blackout. I remember everything. I remember how big of a bitch I was, okay? And
Mm-hmm.
the reason why I'm saying this story is because I want to hear what you have to say about this, Jane, because I think that alcohol, it kind of strips you down of all of these things that you build up according to society, and it
Mm-hmm.
exposes you. And I was so traumatized because I had gone through a really shitty childhood where I got the shit beaten out of me. I'm talking
Oh,
like my dad would beat me to where I would see my blood splatter on walls, and I would not be able to go to school because I couldn't sit, and I had so many what do you call
mm-hmm.
them, so many bruises that they would like start asking questions. And anyways, so I remember how much anger I had pent up in me because I swallowed it. And as a kid, what do? You don't have an outlet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and my dad used to beat us into obedience, and he beat all of us, me, my brother, my mom, and it was normal, right, in that culture at that time, in that, patriarchal society. And so it brought up the ugly me, the ugliness in me that time at the cottage. So I
Mm-hmm.
was fighting with my then ex-husband, and I was just a bitch the next day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's like the devil entered me and took over my body. I was
It,
so
it,
horrible.
it's our id, the id, the three parts of our person. It's Freud, it's soup, conscious, conscious, and our id.
Yeah, the
Id,
subconscious, or even, yeah, the sub.
it's our id, our animal, no filter.
Yes,
That's what happens to most people when you drink too much.
yes,
Your id comes
yes.
out,
And
and you just say whatever you want.
even do you think that that's also why a lot of times when people drink a lot? Because I have another story of somebody who, like, the story that you told me brought me back to this girl that I knew who ended up committing suicide, and she was very much an alcoholic, and she ended her life leaving two very young children behind. And I remember she became very promiscuous. She would drink, and she would just have sex with
Because you
any
don't
guy that would.
care. You don't care. You just don't
Yes.
care.
So do you
Because
think that
I
that's
think,
part of what you just said, Jane?
oh, for sure.
Okay.
Now, when I'm sober, I put a big wall to men, but I'm drinking.
Yeah, it strips you of that. I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, like, for me, another part of me was that I always, like, I love cars. I tell everybody I know, like, in my next life, I want to be a race car driver. I love to drive. I love cars. So every time I would go out with my friends, I would always choose to be the driver because I wanted to show off my car. I spent an exorbitant amount of money on cars, and making them sort of personalized and modifying them. And so I always, so I was worried about my looks, and I wanted to drive. So I knew that I couldn't drink. And at the most, I would have one drink. So I never got to the level of like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get drunk and have sex with any guy that gives me attention. If
Right.
anything, I was sort of like on the other side of it. I was like, let's see how many guys would give me attention so that I could just like flick them over their ego.
I think that also is like a type of an addiction, the drinking and having sex. I think this it's both connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't, I mean, the amount of trauma that you try to suppress, and I think that in the moments when you engage sexually even, you probably get to feel that this person, like, you feel loved in that moment.
Just more for me, more intention. By that time I have sex with a man, I'm black out. Every time I drink, I'm black out. So I have stories about awful trauma in my life because of that. Because when I drink too much, I black out, and anybody can take advantage of me.
So you would get to the point where you would drink to the degree where people would take advantage of you. So
All the
imagine how
time.
vulnerable you were, because I mean, like, rape can happen, people can harm you. And
Hmm. Many, many, many times. Yeah.
I'm talking harm in the sense of like they could take their they could bring their fetishes or their God knows what to that moment and do things to your body that would be extremely
Mhm.
harmful.
Of course. Of
And
course.
so were you aware that you were engaging sexually with all of
Oh,
these
yeah.
men?
Of
And
course.
you were okay with it despite the fact that you were getting the
No, the
blackout.
trauma, the shame. So I finally get sober again. I go drinking and again, bad decisions and I can't control and lots of this trauma experiences. And okay, I had to get sober again. So I get sober, get my life back to and then trying to heal all this traumas and then usually I meet a man who I say, listen, I'm sober alcoholic. I can't be around alcohol. So they, oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't drink. And then they always drink. And then it's either like what's the word that saying if you can't beat them, you join them.
That's
And
right.
then I was started drinking again. I can't control. So much shame. So much shame. I try to kill myself. Almost every time I relapse, the shame that come up because when I start drinking, I cannot stop.
And you knew you knew that you were engaging sexually with these men, and then when you would get
Well,
sober, you
sometimes, but sometimes I have boyfriends, so it's different.
okay, okay,
Yeah, it's different.
but you would feel the shame of your behavior while you were drunk. Is that
All
the shame you?
my past experience. Finally, when I got pregnant, um, it was with a man I had sex one time. So I had this baby. This baby saved my life
Okay, how old were you
because
at this time?
I was 25.
Okay,
So the boyfriends up to that was weird. I had a relationship, a famous baseball player. That was weird. So I had weird different relationships. So I got pregnant, and Angela changed my life, my daughter, my kid.
beautiful name, Angela, Angel, right?
So her name now is Anne. She's a non-binary person. So um, Anne is a beautiful person. I'm so proud of her. So because her, I tried to get my stuff back together for my kid, my baby. So I met a man on the gym, but he had broke his back at one time, so he didn't work. I can work. So that time I finished my college degree is UCI, and my stepfather asked me to partner with him. He was a financial advisor, stockbroker, Morgan Stanley. I said,
Oh,
I have no idea about bonds or stocks. She said, you're fine. Just if you want this, please. Like because I didn't have any money. I have this man that didn't work. Okay, okay, I can do this.
and a baby to feed, right?
Yeah. So that was 10 years that to manage people's money is very stressful.
Oh yeah.
So that relationship didn't work because he was an alcoholic, did many affairs. Again, I married my father, same person.
Yeah.
That's normal. So 10 years of drinking, trying to manage my drinking, the stress. So the 10 years, every morning I have to put vodka on my OJ because I was shaking to put on my mascara. I was shaking because of DTs in the morning. By the end of 10 years, it was awful. So my parents did. intervention because they saw the signs that I need help. So that time, I think it was 35, again, detox and a rehab. And the doctor said, Jane, your liver, 1/3 of your liver's dead, but
Oh
the
my
2/3
goodness.
of your liver you'll be fine. But if you keep drinking, you will be dead.
Yeah. It leads to cirrhosis, which is cancer of the
Hmm.
liver.
So, um,
So your parents did the intervention, and I'm assuming you're speaking about your mother and your stepfather, Mark.
so if they said if you relapse, I will dissolve our partnership and we will take your daughter from you. That time, my boyfriend was meth addict,
Addict.
sex addict. The trauma that relationship caused to me was deep and awful,
On,
dark.
on top of what you had already sort of accumulated and
Mm-hmm.
stacked. So at this time you were how old, Jane?
35.
35. So Angela was about 10 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and she was in this environment with this new man that was your.
But he was always upstairs in my studio in my house that I had. Yeah, she didn't know about him. It was always at night when go to sleep. He would watch porn and use meth every night. Yeah,
So because you said sex addiction, so was it sex addiction as in porn addiction, or was it sex addiction as in like he would bring
both.
in women?
No,
It
just
was.
his thing was porn and also sex abuse too. Yeah, it was
May,
awful.
with you, or
Hmm.
would he bring
Hmm.
other women into the relationship?
Mm-mm.
Just
Mm.
you. Wow. So you had to obviously appease or at least feed into his sex addiction
Right.
to be able to
Yeah.
maintain the relationship, because you just mentioned that it was deep, dark, and awful.
Hmm.
And was
So
it?
to stay sober in that in, environment was hard. So I remember I was 9 months sober, and I think it was Valentine's Day. We were out at dinner, a restaurant, and he didn't work. And he said, "Jane, you can control because that was a fancy restaurant, people drinking champagne." He said, you can control. I will control for you. You can just have a couple glasses." So by the end of the dinner, okay, I can try, but again, I cannot stop when I start. So,
He didn't know this,
oh, of course, he knew this.
but he still thought that you could go ahead and just have a couple of drinks and that he
I
was
think
going
he
to
wanted to
control it.
control me. When I'm drunk, he can control me.
Okay.
So I can't start again. And my parents figured this out, and they took my daughter out from me, and my stepdad dissolved our partnership, and then again try to kill myself many times after that too. So,
So let's talk about the suicide attempts, because I know that when you and I talked about, you told me that you attempted that many times. Tell me about the first time that and I'm assuming that you made this decision in a state of sobriety, where you believe that
no, not really.
you were drunk.
Usually, yeah. It's not my
Okay.
sober, okay, I want to kill myself. No, it's always on a drunk state.
So you were in a drunk state, because I mean, I've never been an alcoholic to know, but like the times when I got drunk, I was just like, life is great. We're having a great time. It's fun. It's social. And then afterwards, you're just like, oh my gosh, I feel so horrible. I'm never going to do that again. I'm throwing up in my body. Because literally, from a biological perspective, the body is literally poisoned, which is why it goes in every direction. Like it even goes against gravity to like force you to throw it up, right?
Right.
The liver is desperately trying to save you, and you are so poisoned that your body just eliminates it even against gravity. So in those moments, were you in such a depressive state at the time when you were drunk that you just felt like, fuck it, I'm just going to end it now? What
So
was going through your mind that you wanted to, like, tell me about the
what?
first time?
Well, I think it was 18 the first time. I think 19, I think. I don't remember. Um, I don't remember. I remember us living in my mom's place, and when the pain is so deep and you can't change, you try to change how you feel it.
Yeah.
You get in a state where that's the last thing. If I can't change this pain. So that time I was 35, the deep trauma, that relationship, I know my relationship with men were awful.
Yeah.
And my decisions with the men I chose had a big negative effect on my life. And when I'm in that state of absolute miserable, dark, and then the next day I have to look perfect, and so nobody can see my pain. You can't suppress all that.
Yeah.
Either you explode or
It's energy that is going to eventually seek to be expressed, is going to seek an outlet. So, so the first time you attempted the suicide was when you were 19. Do you feel comfortable talking about how you actually, like, by which means?
well, usually it's pills. Usually.
Pills. Okay.
Yeah. Like one time I took like a whole bottle benzos out of it.
Oh,
Like
oh,
I think it was 60. And the
oh
doctor
my
said the reason
gosh.
why you survive because your systems is used to depress like alcohol. That's why you survive. And then the next time it was like Tylenol, but I didn't take enough to kill myself. And then the next time my neighbor heard me, I fell down, called 911. Next time it was I take trazodone, a whole bottle, and I for like 3 days I was insane. I was at a hospital. My brain was. I remember the doctor asked me to write a clock. I couldn't. So it's it's like things happen. Well, I survive each time.
At this juncture, I could say that if you're not, from a spiritual perspective, if your time has not come,
Mm-mm,
if it's not your time to go, no
mm-mm,
matter what you do, you cannot override what is meant
mm-mm.
for you, what is divinely written for you, if you will, if you want to look at it like that. And but coming back to the 3D world, I'd like to understand what was happening inside of you each time. Like, were you just
I
saying,
don't
like,
I don't remember
I can't handle
really.
this anymore?
That's it. The pain so deep.
Because I know that a lot of times when people ideate suicide, it is a matter of that I just can't do more than from here.
I can't do this anymore. I can't do this.
Yeah.
Life is too painful. I can't do this. And the shame after I had my daughter, it was so deep.
Did you feel so that there was, because you talked about the shame earlier about the fact that, the shame of everything that had happened prior from your childhood, and then, the alcohol abuse and the promiscuity with the multiple men. At this point, of course, and now you had gone through this relationship with this man who was a meth addict as well. Was there shame in, oh shit, so now I also have to face the world and everybody knows that I've also tried to kill myself? They
Yeah,
think I'm like crazy.
of course.
So you're basically just like stacking more and more things to push you deeper into despair.
So I would reach to help another rehab detox, and then I get my back together, and then always a new relationship because I haven't healed yet.
So you were basically detoxing physically, biologically, your bio,
Well,
like your
well,
organism.
some therapy there, here or there, but not enough to really heal your past trauma to change your patterns.
What would you say that the how did the therapy fail? I've gone to therapy not for alcohol abuse or anything like that, but from just like multiple betrayals in my relationship. And I remember that I got to a point where all we were doing were talking about it, and I just came to a point and I said like, I just don't want to fucking talk about this guy anymore and what he did, because it was just like you kind of just pick at the wound, you know? It's like you just pick the scab, it bleeds again, and then it starts to scab over until your next appointment, and then you just pick at it again by talking about it. And it was just like, I was like, fuck, I'm done, like I don't want to
Well,
talk.
it's so much bigger than therapy.
Yeah, so what kind of therapy were you doing that it wasn't healing
Normal,
you?
it's normal CBT
Oh,
talk
cognitive
therapy.
behavioral therapy, talk therapy, yeah.
So it's so much bigger than that. It's
Yeah, because
spiritual.
exactly. Is it's spiritual, and it's. I think that the world of psychology doesn't understand, because I mean, no branch of healthcare in worldwide, because I spoke with people from even from Europe. I've had clients from Europe. They don't ever ask anybody, how do you feel, or why do you feel this way? They don't scratch the surface of spirituality in any capacity, be able
Also,
to get to the depth of it.
the big turning point in my life is I did not know how powerful our soul is. I did not know. And I didn't know how powerful our thoughts are, our speech, until found Darius's teaching. That
Yes,
changed my whole life.
absolutely. So the
Everything
therapy,
changed.
yeah, so the therapy that they were obviously attempting you to do alongside the physical detoxification, which is typical of rehab centers. But what happened psychologically for you to relapse over and over? Was it that the therapy was just bringing up the feelings of the inadequacy and the shame and the pain
Well,
and the
again,
trauma
the bad decisions, the men that allowed in my life will start that pattern again
over again?
every
Okay,
time. Yeah.
okay, okay. So tell me, because you just talked about Darius and his work, but tell me about the moment that your story stopped moving you downward in the spiral.
Well, it was when my body broke down because my addiction and my spine broke down, and I had pain. My spine, the pain started, I think it was 2016.
How old were you at
Um,
this time, Jane?
I was 44, 43.
So you're now going, if you started your first drink at 11 and now you're 44, very important number, 33 years. Master number 33, very,
Right.
yes, I love
So
that.
at that time, my boyfriend we date on and off for at least 23 years. He was a scientist, and he hid that every weekend he will use drugs like ketamine, LSD,
LSD.
and ecstasy. I didn't know. And he knew that I had bad problem alcohol. So when we got back together, he said, "Try this. This pill helped me have experiential experience because he knew how much I love my spiritual life." And I said, "Well, I don't have problems for pills. My problem's are alcohol. So try this, Jane. You will love this."
So you were
And
already you had already started a spiritual life by this
hmm
time, by the
hmm
time you were 44.
hmm
What led you to that?
I've been AA many, many, many times for years on and off because it's all about God.
Yes. So at this point, I could tell you about that friend because I did go to AA with her one time, and I remember. But I want you to make the distinction for the audience because, from my experience, and rightfully, she lived in Texas at the time, and Texas is very big on religion. So it was not a very big, let's say, spiritual in the way that spiritualists think of spirituality, but this
hmm
was very religion, heavy religious. Like in the, especially her sponsor was always talking about Bible verses. So was that how you, like
No, no,
AA pushed you towards that or
no,
towards
it's no.
spirituality?
California here, AA, it's about admitting that you have a problem and that your life is crazy, insanity, and that something bigger than you, your idea of higher power will help you. It doesn't matter if it's the group is your first higher power or nature. For me, it was nature because both my parents didn't believe in God, so I had no idea what God was. So I remember reading near-death experiences books, and that's when I started to have the spiritual journey.
Okay. And how old were you at the time when this started?
It's 15.
At the age of 15. So you were already sort of tied to a spiritual life throughout your entire life, like
Mhm.
irrespective of the men, the relationships, the alcohol, all of that. Did you use meth when you were with the guy that was no? So he never pulled you into the world of drugs at that time?
I don't like drugs my whole life until my ex-husband.
Okay.
And then
When
and that was ketamine. So he shoot up me ketamine and my spiritual experience on ketamine and no pain, physical pain, because at that time I started having pain in my spine.
okay.
So I absolutely love ketamine. And when you shoot up ketamine, you're out of body, OBE, every time.
Okay, let's talk about that. So let's talk about for those in the audience who don't know what ketamine is. Ketamine is a drug prescribed,
Uh-huh.
and is it prescribed, was it prescribed to you or to your ex-husband for that matter? So it was like, I guess, obtained through illegal, let's say, from a dealer of sorts, as
Yes.
drugs typically are. Okay, and you said that you shot it up. So was it sort of like heroin, the way heroin addicts do it, like with a syringe directly into the vein? So it
Mm-hmm.
goes into the bloodstream. It hits you like in an
Fast.
instant.
Hmm.
Okay,
And you
and
always lie down because you're out.
okay. So explain the feeling. I mean, not that I'm even suggesting to anybody, hey, if you want to have an OBE, shoot some ketamine and off you go. No.
No, because it doesn't because when you shoot up at ketamine, for me, in my experience, the feeling when you come down, the unconditional love, the feeling of being so connected to a source or a God, there's no words, but you don't remember the details. Some like, okay, kind of remember, but it's more about the experience, like after like the feeling of so I was studying master's psychology.
I'd like to take a quick break now to let you know that today's show is sponsored by my book, Against Medical Advice. This book is a memoir, and it tells the story of how I built my life back after suffering a stroke during my divorce. I discuss the nutritional, lifestyle, and mindset aspects that I put into practice to regain my health and rebuild my life. The book has been a labor of love, both writing it and publishing it, and I couldn't be more proud of it. Please pick up your copy from Amazon. For your very own signed copy, my email address is simone@simonegisondi.com. Oh, and I'd really appreciate it if you'd please consider leaving a review once you've read the book. And now, back to the show.
Psychology at that time, the Pepperdine College, and I was researched ketamine and depression, because ketamine helps a lot if you depress, because it changed how you look at your life. The spiritual experience on ketamine is so powerful. But I got addicted to ketamine myself, because the feeling of unconditional love in God and no physical pain, I want to go back there, because being here was too painful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which a lot of times when people get addicted to any substances is because being on the other side, where you're not feeling what you feel like here. And even for the people that are spiritual, and you know, I've had my own out of body experiences, and mine were always spontaneous. Yes, you feel this immense amount of love. You're suspended. You're light. You're not this dense body in this dense physical reality. You're on a side of somewhere where there's like no weight. You're not. Exactly like you said. It's difficult to even explain it with words. You feel no pain. You literally light. Like not light as in like weightless, but even so weightless. You're light. You're not this physical thing that's just so. I remember when I came back from mine, I remember feeling, the word that came to me was like grotesque. This world here is so grotesque because it's just so, the energy of it, if you're attuned to energy. So how did it feel like? So you would shoot up the ketamine, and how quickly would you be like, whoosh,
Ah.
like almost instantly? So it changes your consciousness. I'm trying to see if this can be likened to the magic mushroom experience, where it's like looked at as a very like
But
spiritual bypassing.
that's a slow process.
Yes,
Like,
but in the sense that it's spiritual bypassing. It's like
but the ketamine, shooting up ketamine, you're out. It's called ketamine hole.
the ketamine hole.
A hole, yeah.
And is it that your consciousness sort of is like forced into this new realm, rather than you slowly get there? Or because
No,
I
it's
know that even in the magic mushroom world, I remember having this conversation with this guy, and he was not a fan of microdosing. So microdosing is where you take a little bit and you kind of like increase it. And
right.
he said, he's like, that's like creeping, like you're creeping up to a door to see
But
what's
that does
behind it.
help people, though. That does help.
Yeah, and there's different. Some people just want like the full blown right in, and some people just want to like slowly kind of get there because they're trying to test like how much, and you know, how much can your mind take. But ketamine is like, there you are and the experience is the same. Or can you adjust the dosing to adjust the experience you have on the other side?
Well, you can use more and then longer trip for sure.
So more means longer trip on the other side.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the experience itself? What do you experience there?
Just flying, meeting weird. I remember one time I saw three beings on huge chairs, and they look at me and they said, "You shouldn't be here." And now I know who they are. They're my guides. Merlin,
Okay.
Ola, and Paul. Yeah.
Oh, they
Because
had names too. Okay.
yeah, because now I know who they were. I remember when I was out my body, I looked down on my life. It looks like a album, like a flat surface, circles. And I know my life was right there. My many lives, my life was right there. I go, oh gosh, I go back. Oh god, okay, back. It's like experience like that.
So the many circles were the different.
Lives.
moments of the like or the experiences of life that you had experienced up until this point? Like, here's
Mhm.
your marriage with this guy, and here's your relationship with this guy, and here's when you were working alongside your
Like
stepdad.
Says life at home, other side's different. Darius says, like here it's linear, right? Light and time. So his analogy is a deck of cards is like out. It's life event here, here, here. Other side, you go pick it together and then you look down. That what feels like time feels like other side. That was me. I saw my life. I saw everything.
And how did you feel about it on the other
I don't
side?
want to come back.
That's exactly how I felt.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were talking about pain, and you started doing the ketamine. So your ex-husband, said to you, "Oh, you have pain. Okay, take this. The pain's gonna be gone." And did you get addicted to that because you're like, "Oh shit! Not only do I not feel pain, but I get to go to the other side, and it's amazing."
Yeah,
And
he did not like that I'm in pain because it was like a working person, like he was huge, muscles and scientist and genius. Like he didn't like that I was in pain, and then I couldn't control my ketamine, and that our relationship and I knew if I'd stayed with him, I will be dead because every weekend his motto was, I work hard, I play hard. And I give him a
wow,
choice. I says either drugs or me, and he says drugs. And I that's my pattern too, because I will always give it a choice, either me or alcohol, or me or drugs, always drugs or alcohol. But now I know I have to choose myself. It's not them choosing me. For me to choose myself now. Make sense?
yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, did you go to the doctor with the to identify what exactly was it that you were feeling the pain from? I mean, obviously he was
Well,
giving you the
I
ketamine.
had and disc bulges. Like I think at that time I had three here, four there. Right now, I have 13 discs herniated did
Herniated discs.
right
Okay,
now,
and
13.
and what what caused that when you
The many,
first?
many, well, because when you suppress your pain, your body feels it. So I think my spine broke down. People's bodies are different. Mine was my spine.
Yep.
And then many falls on ketamine.
Physical falls.
Hmm. And
Okay.
then I fused two times my neck, fused one time on my lumbar. So my parents would let me live with them because they know how bad my physical pain was, and they hired a full-time caregiver for me because I can work I can walk. I was bedridden for years
How many years?
and on and off 8 years.
Oh my gosh. That must,
So
how did you, like, tell me how you felt, because physically, obviously, we know, but how did that make you feel? Because I remember when I was not able to function physically, it was depression sets in.
of course, my room was my whole world for years. So I started research spiritual practices. So I remember I watched a YouTube video about meditation will help you with pain relief. So then I started meditation to help me with my physical pain because oxys you need more and more and it doesn't
Yes.
work. Doesn't work.
Well, during the time when you were bedridden, were you taking pain medication? Did you continue the ketamines, or did you now move to
No, but
oxys?
I did my last relapse, I tried ketamine again because ketamine will reset your pain receptors. So oxys opiates, you need more and more. Your
Yes.
tolerance go up, up, up. So ketamine helps to reset your pain receptors. but I forgot that I can't control my ketamine. So I fell down. That time finally moved out my mom's place with my sponsor AA. And that time I was taking two my opiates, but and every month I would withdraw because I would take too much.
Yeah.
And then, okay, I have to change this. I didn't tell the truth, my sponsor. So I said, okay, I will take some ketamine to change my pain receptors. So I did ketamine and I passed out. It's the middle of the night, and um she had a dog. The dog bark and woke her up and heard me fall down, and she come my room, picked me up on the bed. So she didn't know that I passed out on the space heater, and I had third degree burn on my back.
Oh my
Huge,
gosh.
huge. And hospital, they did the surgery again for my hip
Skin
on my
graft.
back.
Yeah.
And at the hospital is when I had my first stroke.
Okay. So going back, so you were bedridden about on and off for 8 years, and you obviously started taking oxys, and then you relapsed on the ketamines. Was there any alcohol consumption anymore? You had given up the alcohol. You had already like become alcohol sober, but
Years.
you had an AA sponsor
Hmm.
that was continuing to make sure that you stayed that way.
Hmm.
Okay. So now you're in the hospital because you had this third degree burn because you fell and you burnt your back, and they did a skin graft by taking skin from your hip to put it on your back so that obviously you could heal. And you had the stroke in the hospital. I mean,
I guess
that's
I remember it was day 7. I woke up, I can't talk or walk. They wheeled me through the surgery room, and the doctor did something to my brain to stop the strokes. And I can't walk, I can't talk at all. No words can come out. My brain shut down. Nothing makes sense. People talk to me.
I remember
So
that.
and my sponsor kicked me out, and my parents says, no, you can't stay here.
Now, did you ever get an answer as to why you had a stroke in the hospital? Because that is very suspect. I mean, what exactly did they give you that would, because I'm sure that like during the time, especially because you said you had surgery, so during surgery they anesthetize you, I'm assuming, whether it's going to be local or general, but some sort
Yeah,
of a
my doctor, my neurologist doctor said it's not because of my drugs I was on. Stroke,
so
there's reasons why you have strokes.
yes.
She said it's not about drugs at all. So I don't know why. My doctor did all this tests. So I had many strokes the last 3 years now, many strokes.
So the first one was while you were in the hospital for the surgery for the third degree burns.
Hmm.
I mean, that's by and large because strokes are part of the cardiovascular disease category, and they are an event. There are diseases that are chronic, so things like diabetes, things like cancer, they
Right,
progress over time, hence the word chronic, so they continue chronically over time. However, heart attacks, that these are events, heart attacks, strokes, and of course I learned this because I had stroke myself. I only had one. But obviously I learned about this. So this was an event, and when you have events of this caliber and they are significant, the best place to be is somewhere where they can like immediately do something, because otherwise that any time wasted means that you are closer to
right,
death.
right, right.
So that would have been the best place for you to be and to have the stroke. Well, because and you just spoke about that, how the doctor was obviously intervened
Mm-hmm.
medically to stop
Mm-hmm.
the strokes or to stop what was happening. So what kind of stroke did you have? Was it an ischemic?
I don't remember.
Was it so? Did you have a blood clot, or did one of your arteries burst and there was a bleed out, a hemorrhage in the brain?
I think the blood
A
clot.
blood clot.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So then, yeah. So the that's exactly what I had, and the brain doesn't have flow, and obviously
Mm.
like the oxygen that the blood carries with it. Okay, and so for those of you that want to see, if you buy my book Against Medical Advice, you will see I put on the cover of my book is the actual MRI that I had, and it shows exactly where it was, which is right here in my left temple. And when you were talking about everything that you said, I remember so clearly. I could not make out what people were saying to me. It was a foreign language at best. My kid was talking to me, my ex-husband was talking to me, and I couldn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And I myself could not as well.
Mm-hmm.
I could not,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's called speech aphasia. For
Mm-hmm.
me, it was speech aphasia. Not that I couldn't speak, like I went mute, but I could not put words together in their proper order that I could actually
Yeah,
like put a sentence together.
I can even tell I can say one word.
Yeah, that's actually exactly so. I remember, so in my book, I wrote about like one of the scenes is when I was at the hospital and the neurologist that was treating me at the time, and my friend was with me at that time, and she would take out and she would say, "What is this?" She took it out of her pocket, the pocket of her lab coat, and she said, "What is this?" And I was looking at it, and in my mind was like, "That's a pen." That's a pen. Say it. Say pen. And I could not verbalize. The word would not come out of my mouth. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Why
Well,
can't I say the word pen? I know what it is.
that's kind of me, but also some basic words
We're gone.
were gone.
Yeah, like me. I had to learn them from school. I remember this friend was actually like, she made a list of words and she would like, we were practicing them to be for
Mhm.
me to be able to heal. So yes, I understand. Okay, so the first stroke happened while you were in the hospital, and then the subsequent strokes, because you had multiple. How many would you say you had in total?
I don't know, at least 4 or 5.
That is the fact that you're alive, because I remember the
Because
doctors.
the third degree, my back, if that dog didn't bark, I would be dead.
That's right. That's right. That's absolutely right. And again, that goes back to what we said earlier, that when it's not your time to go, you will not go. Someone will intervene to make sure that you stay. So you had a multitude of strokes. And I just want to, at this juncture, because I remember doctors would tell me when I was even during my post stroke care and while I was in the hospital, they would say, "You have one more stroke, you're going to die." So the fact that you had multiple subsequent strokes and you're alive is
And I got sober. My friend allowed me to stay on his drug rehab because I had nowhere to go. I was homeless,
oh
no
my
money.
gosh.
So I was with him for like at least 6 or 8 months.
Did your parents know that you had the stroke
Mhm.
and they still would not take you?
Mhm.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow, wow, wow. Because that alone, that in itself would be a trauma to know that it would kind of exacerbate, like, oh my gosh, like these people don't care about me enough
Because
that.
I relapsed. Like my mom is a black belt Al-Anon person.
So because you relapsed it, by virtue of the fact that she's a black belt in that
Al
capacity, Al-Anon,
Al-Anon.
that prevents her from taking you in,
Well, when you're on Al-Anon, they teach tough love.
even in extenuating circumstances such as stroke, which are known to kill people.
Hmm.
She would still not That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm sorry, but when somebody is in the position where they could die, that I think that you can maybe just stretch that rule, especially if it's your
Yeah. She's
only
doing the
child.
best she can, and I don't resent it at all. What I put her through. So I got sober, and then I rent a room from a sober couple, and then my ex-husband OD'd.
The ketamines.
No, I'm not sure what he used or OD'd on, but I know he did. And I was on his life insurance. So I got some money from that, even though his brother battled with me with lawyers for like at least 2 years. So I got some money and
Did
I,
so? Did he die?
yeah, he died.
He died as a result of the overdose.
Hmm.
Oh wow. Okay.
I knew if I'd stay with him, I'd be
You
dead.
you would have died as well. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So then you decided to you rented space from a couple,
And then got that money from the life
life
insurance.
insurance
So I
company.
moved out, even though when I finally moved out, I had my own place. It's San Clemente, small place across the beach, cute, cute. I was vaping. So before that, always when I was on rehab, I would start smoking cigarettes every time. It's my pattern. So I was smoking and I had a small stroke smoking. So
Yeah.
I stopped that. So I started using vapes, moved out, my own place, and then I had three more strokes. It was embolic strokes. And that messed up my nervous system. It caused something called central post-stroke pain. The deep, deep pain that um, symptoms. So when you put your finger in the outlet, that low level of um, electric,
Electricity.
like my nervous system, and a small stress thought, little any small one, my nervous system would fire up, and the pain was so severe. So I hired a part-time caregiver because I can't anything stress, cooking, cleaning, anything. I had to be so quiet and but little small stress again it triggered my nervous system. It hurt. My doctor said, "I'm so sorry. Here's more medications." And that time, I think I was on at least 15 medications.
Oh my gosh.
So um, that's when I found Darius J. Wright teachings.
Darius J. Wright, the legend himself. But I want to, okay, so leading up to this, so you were in this complete state of stress. Your nervous system was like, I mean, for those of you that don't know, trauma dysregulates your nervous system. Sometimes you, like even the strokes and everything, is because the dysregulation is so severe that your body responds in the nervous system, especially the central nervous system, which has two branches in and of itself, but I'm not going to make this a scientific podcast. When your nervous system gets dysregulated, number one, you cannot heal. Number two, you cannot function, you cannot think, even your body's involuntary things like breathing, heart rate, all of those get affected. So your nervous system is the number one thing that needs to be in top shape for anything under, like any kind of healing to be done, be it
Yep.
emotional, being physical, like central nervous system has to be perfectly regulated. And a lot of us who are traumatized, trauma is probably the worst thing that can happen to our nervous system, the worst. So, okay, so you couldn't even function. You hire a caregiver. Did you now start to say, like, okay, what can I do to get myself so that I could heal? And what did you start doing? So, you talked a little bit about meditation earlier. Did you start
Right.
meditating?
So I finally did that again because at my mom's place, when I meditation, I started having visions, dragons, spiders, weird stuff, tourists, like weird scenes. Again, the three embolic stroke, the hospital, my vision was so clear. I thought I was going crazy. I was thinking to ask my mom to admit me a psych unit because my visions were so clear. Anytime I closed my eyes, they were there. Dragons, spiders, weird stuff.
Would they say anything to you? What
No, not that I hear them, but the scenes were so weird, so scary for me because I was in state of fear.
what did
The
you
stroke.
see? What did you see? Like, what were these spiders and dragons doing?
Well, a field of dragons, like flying around, spiders, a town of people, boats, lakes, portals. Like you say it, I saw it was so weird. I didn't understand what's going on. I thought I'm going crazy.
Okay,
So,
so I was going to
but
ask you, what did you
when I,
feel when this
so
was
what,
happening?
when I got out the hospital, I called my friend Eric, who's a pastor. I asked him to baptize me in the hope that it will calm down my visions, and it did. It did.
Interesting. So
Uh,
baptize into Christ.
but I wasn't religious at all. But I knew that maybe that will help me, and did. Since then, all I'd see when I close my eyes, meditation, I'd see portals open up everywhere. It didn't scare me.
What did
So
you feel when this stuff would these visions would kind of come to you?
then I was in fear.
In fear, fear. You
But,
felt
uh,
afraid.
but when I found Darius had when I got his membership, he talked about the history, the truth of the history of this world, and that dragons are nothing to be scared of.
Yep.
And then I allow my visions come back.
So they came back when you shed the fear.
Hmm.
Okay. So what do you think that the baptism, the perceived, so I want to emphasize this, the perception that Christ would save you is what gave you relief from the visions?
I think because I didn't know how powerful we are, my belief that that will help did it. It
Yeah.
wasn't Yeshua, Jesus Christ. It was my belief
Yeah.
that changed me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So the perception that you are saved and protected
Hmm.
gave you exactly that, the safety and the protection, and so your consciousness accepted that. Were so did you feel like you were going to a different, let's say, dimension when you would close your eyes and those things would come, or was it that they would come into your consciousness to make you
Both,
aware of them?
both.
Both. Okay. So let's talk about Darius. So one day you started meditating. How did you stumble upon his stuff? One day were you sort of in search of, oh my gosh, I
Mm.
got to help myself. How did you stumble upon
Well,
his work?
I always love watching near-death experience videos. I think that's why I come
Yes.
on. So when I saw him, he talked about OBEs. I said, "There's no way." My anxiety was so debilitating at that time because my blood pressure was so out of control. There's no way I can do that. But I knew I had to buy his membership. I just knew because at that time she released the workshop called The Frequency. So I watched that and he talked about how powerful the will of the power of our will is so powerful it can change or reprogram ourselves. So
Yes.
how can I change my thoughts? So my thoughts that time was I'm a burden, I'm in pain, unworthy, I'm sick, I'm an addict, all this negative thoughts. Okay, I see that. So I have to change that. So it was last year, July, when I start my affirmations. So I did love I am, peace I am, divine I am, health I am, healed I am. Like a little song. Love I am, peace I am, divine I am, health I am, healed I am. Over and over and over every day, out loud in my mind. Every day since then, every day. I say it out loud in my mind all the time.
Yep.
And it finally calmed my nervous system down. And then I started healing. And then finally walk and walk more, walking more, stronger. And like my whole life changed. My
What
visions and
what
my
happened first, Jane? What was the first thing that you're like, "Oh my God, I'm actually healing."
my
What was
affirmations calmed down my nervous system. So physical pain went down a little bit.
okay?
And then
Anxiety?
it was so awful. It was so awful. All my whole day was anxiety down. It's awful.
So did the affirmations kind of calm that down too, so that
Mhm.
did the anxiety go away completely, or did it
Now
just
it took me like
decrease?
at least a year.
Okay.
And then to meet my new friends too, to find my tribe,
Yes.
that changed my life too. And then
Yes.
to hear their experiences, there's no words with my gratitude. And then my relationship with my spiritual guide. So a friend, so I saw these eyes all the time, like scary eyes. But I was in fear because now I know nothing can hurt me.
Where
I'm
did you see
powerful.
these eyes?
Close my eyes all the time. They're there. So a
Okay.
friend ask, are you this or that? Looks like a crocodile face. So I asked, are you crocodile? The eye says no. You answer me? Okay. Are you a horse? No. Are you a dragon? I said, yes. I said, oh, I remember the dragons. Oh my
That you had
gosh.
seen earlier.
Are you a
Yes.
dragon? Yes. Really? You're a dragon? Yes. I asked this dragon at least 50 times, are you sure, dragon? Yes. So then the next week, it was last July, next week, I started doubting this. A dragon, why a dragon? So I did my every night meditation. So I sit down, I command. So Darius teaches you can command. So I command, show yourself. So this portal opened up. This a massive dragon walked out. Huge, beautiful dragon. And I started bawling, like bawling. What is this?
Were you scared?
No, the love, this connection, this dragon was so intense. What is this? I was confused. I know this dragon.
So was this one of the dragons that you saw initially when you were talking
Yes.
about how you would close your eyes and they would be there, and then all of a sudden, so was this one of your guardians?
Well, what I got from all my guides and my dragons, the fairies, all the thing I could see now, all they really are is my soul family helping me, my team. So I what I got from my guides is it's just some of my soul family volunteered to be my team for this life, Jane's life. So I got many dragons, normal guides, Merlin, Lola, Paul, I got fairies, angels, gnome, elephants. Like, I know it sounds crazy.
No, I think for those that it might sound crazy for those that have never experienced, but for those of us that have experienced the out of body experiences and the near death experiences, and we were able to connect to the other side, you are able to see that there is a team, and you hear it even from like many of the stories that people tell of like out of body or near death experiences, where there's somebody there. Sometimes they're human, sometimes they're not human, sometimes they're animals, sometimes they're, so there isn't, for people who are well versed in that, they know that this is not crazy by any stretch of any imagination. But I want the audience to understand the multitude of the experiences. I mean, like the richness of everything that you've experienced is crazy. So did you? So let's talk about Darius J. Wright. So you got his membership, and he started. You obviously started to study everything that he teaches, and I know that he teaches. So for those of you, and I'm trying to get Darius to come so that I can interview him. But for those of you guys that are out there, please, I invite you to go and check out his work. He's done many, many interviews. You'll find a lot of his things on YouTube, and you could check out his website, dariusjwright.com.
Also, I
DA.
think that great work too is one of his websites.
Yes, yes. But everything is sort of channeled through his, and you could
Mhm.
read his mission on his website. And I want you guys to know Darius J. Wright is spelled Darius, letter J, and Wright is WRIGHT.com. So Darius J. Wright, and the work that he does is he teaches people how to do out of body experiences on command or controlled, if you will. So you basically control, he walks you through the process of how you get out of your body in a very controlled way so that you are always safe. He teaches you how to walk through the fear and everything. And the extent
Because
of,
he went through his own process, her fears, and
yes,
yeah, same as me.
and
I did not know how powerful we are. I did not know.
yes, and so one of the ways that, and I want you to speak to this, did you go through the process of, because one of the entryways into that other realm, and I've gone through it and I had no idea. I mean, I had spontaneous out of body, but I've
Mhm.
also gone through a multitude of sleep paralysis. And sleep
Mhm.
paralysis is the entryway into the other realm. And I remember how scared I was. I mean, terrified scared. Okay.
It's scary.
It is so scary. And had I known what I know now from Darius, I wish, because right now,
I know.
because all of my I'm dying to ask him this. I know that there is when you have something that happens to you spontaneously rather than you bringing it on, it means that you are deemed ready by the other side. And I remember when it happened. So right now, every night I go to sleep, I'm like, please come again. Please happen.
Mhm.
So that it can happen spontaneously for me to be able to know. But I know that he talks at length about how there is absolutely nothing whatsoever to fear, that we are so powerful that nothing on the other side can ever harm you. You are the soul cannot be destroyed or harmed. And if you do come face to face with entities, I know that we're going off the whole idea of health in the physical space here, but if you do come face to face with any entity while you're on the other side and you're out of body, and it looks scary, you can command it, and it cannot. It has to obey the laws of
Most
nature.
of those negative entities are from your mind.
Yes, they
Our
are
mind creates,
thoughts. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
our
So
thoughts create those.
exactly. So the
Mhm.
fact that we instinctively, if you will, if I can use that term, if you instinctively fear what may be on the other side,
You'll see
that
it.
that fear is you creating it, and you will indeed see it on the other side.
You
So
will
you've
see your thought
created it.
patterns physically.
That's right. That's so that right there, what you said, Jane. I want people to pay attention to that. That is how powerful you are.
Mm-hmm.
You create everything with your thoughts and you experience it on the other side. I mean, sometimes we experience it here in 3D as well. It's
All
just
the
that
time.
thoughts are not stuff that we see, touch, and feel, so we don't really see it. And oftentimes in 3D, what we thought back there usually takes time in the linear way that we experience life to
Mhm.
show up later on in time in this linear time space reality. However, on the other side, it's instant. It's like
Fast.
this, very
To
fast.
go from the thought, I'm a burden, I'm in pain, I'm unworthy, I'm a burden, to love I am, peace I am, divine I am, because now I know my soul is a of source, spark of source. Your
Yes.
soul is a spark of source. You are God, I am God. I did not know. I did not know. The empowerment that Darius's teachings is life changing.
It
Now I'm
is.
so strong. I'm physically strong,
Yes.
mental, emotionally. I had to forgive myself, forgive others, cleanse my body, get all. I'm down to 4 medications now. I'm almost done with 2. So
Now
there's
let's talk about what happened. What changed inside of you after those experiences, especially like when you went deeper with the Darius J. Wright practices? What changed inside of you? Did you just realize your power?
yes,
Okay.
empowerment.
Okay. And what can you do today? Let's talk about what you can do today. I mean, I know because I've experienced your immense power, but I really want the audience to hear. What can you do today that you could not do before?
To speak my truth.
Speak your truth without the shame, without all of the negative aspects of what we are conditioned to feel
And
and
my
think.
no more fear.
No more fear, no more shame, no more embarrassment, no more feeling
Now I
unworthy.
know this body isn't me.
Mm-hmm.
My soul is eternal.
Mm-hmm.
We're all connected.
Mm-hmm.
And what I see inside you is inside me. When I
Mm-hmm.
say what I see in you that I don't like, it's about what I don't like about myself.
Mm-hmm.
No more judge and unconditional love, living in a state of love. Instead, my mind, my worries, Jane, coming from a state of love has changed everything too. And I just didn't know this stuff.
So, did you start to love yourself, Jane, when you
Oh yeah,
shed all of that? So,
because
because
I said, love I am,
mm-hmm.
peace I am. I
so,
love myself now, and
so
now I
not
can love you better.
not just that you love yourself, but you recognize that you are love.
Hmm.
That's right. And I really want, once again, to really encourage everybody to go and listen to the previous show that I did with Lisa M. Harrison.
Lisa is a gem. I absolutely love Lisa.
I
She's
love
so
Lisa
she's so
too.
strong. I love
I
her.
mean, the strength,
Awesome.
yes. And you know what? The reason why I want people to listen to that episode, because I mean, you're just like, your story is so inspiring, because if people feel, and I'm not trying to diminish, because even me, I look at myself back in my life when I had the stroke and how I felt like my whole life collapsed. I mean, my marriage collapsed. I wasn't able to work. You know, like we were selling the house. Like I just, all of me died, and everything that was my construct and my life died. But when I think vis-a-vis your story, like the addiction, the multiple men, the ketamines, the fusing of your spine, the strokes in the hospital, the fact that you had third degree burns, like, and the fact that you are now healed and you're able to look back and to say, first and foremost, I want people to understand the resilience of the human body. Okay, that it's just, I
Oh,
mean, you are poof. Because I thought, even me, I went through the whole process and I was telling myself, like, I am absolutely not going to accept that I'm going to have another stroke or that I'm going to die. Like, no fucking way. Like, I mean, and at the time when I was saying this to myself, Jane, I had no idea that I had the power to command my healing. I just remember that I just said, I'm like, because I'm stubborn like that. And it was like, no, I'm not ready to do
Same,
this because
same.
I was defiant and going back to the everything that I had gone through in my childhood when my father and society was sort of dictating to me and I was beaten into obedience. I was so defiant. I'm like, absolutely not. I am not accepting anything. Like, I'm a grown woman. You are not going to tell me when I'm going to heal. You are not going to tell me on what terms I heal.
I
I
love
command
that.
this. Yeah. So, but unbeknownst to me that I have that power, it was just a matter of being defiant. That's all it was for me at that time.
Yeah, same.
So I want people to understand from your story, because when I look at my story, it was like one stroke, and of course the divorce and the multiple betrayals from my husband with other women. But when I look at what you went through, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I thought like my story was inspiring for people to know like you can command your own, you could heal anything you want when you really step in the power. But you, like the fact that your body absolutely went through the immensity of everything that it went through, and here you are, that speaks to first and foremost to the body's resilience. And then when you stepped in your power and you're like, I am this, I am this, I'm divine, I'm peace, I'm love, I'm healed.
Healthy.
You're, yes, I'm healthy.
I did not believe that in the beginning, though. I did not believe. You don't have to really believe when I start my affirmations. I'm telling you, you don't have to really believe. But it took me at least maybe 2 months, 3 months to start really believe my
I,
affirmations.
yes, and I want people to know because I went, so I post stroke, I went through this, like I went and I was like in Bob Proctor's, and Bob Proctor was like one of the greats in the sort of mindset space. And I was in his inner circle, and he used to make us write affirmations every day 100 times. And he used to make us do it just so that it can, you basically encode it in yourself, because
Right.
after a while you say the same thing over and over, you start to believe it, which is,
Yeah,
and it works the same in the hypnosis state,
yeah.
it works the same in the affirmation state, and everything is just basically to get yourself to believe the things that you say over and over and the things that you write over and over. So watching them with your eyes and writing them, so you're channeling your energy through your hand, writing them over and over, you basically come to the point you're like, hell yeah, I'm that powerful. Like, and yes, I,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
believe those things.
And now I can help people to connect to their team, activate the people now. Like,
Yes,
this is so
yes.
weird. Me? That's so weird. That's so weird. Come on. It was a summit, Jairus's in-person summit. A friend last year, I knew that I could ask my team to help me to cleanse my body. And they did every night, 30, 60 minutes. I saw them go up and down my body, cleanse my body. And then I feel so much stronger. And then I knew to ask them to activate me to for more connect to them and my higher self and source. And then a friend asked me to activate her. And then now people ask me to activate them. This is so fun. This is so awesome now. I'm helping up others to connect to their guides because I close my eyes anytime. I see Merlin all the time sitting on it looks like a throne chair. I can ask him yes and no questions. Lately, they can write a word now. I want to hear their voices, but not yet, I guess. So I'm waiting for that. And I see dragons all the time. I see fairies, angels all the time. And at night, the trees, I see auras around the trees. I see auras of people. Now it's so fun and so beautiful. No more fear. And
And would you say, because I want to know what happens inside your body when you have these kind of experiences? Do you feel anything different in yourself when you have that connection, when you connect to those things, to those
guide,
powers, to your guides, but also just to the ability to connect?
it's beautiful. It feels very empowering.
Okay.
Empowering.
And would you say that everybody's got this dormant power, and if they practice,
Absolutely. I am telling
yes,
you, everybody has a spiritual team around them 24/7. I did not know that. Now I could see them around me all the time. You might have an experience where you feel them or maybe saw them one time, but I'm telling you, they're watching you 24/7. I know.
yeah,
And they volunteer to be your team this life, trying to help you.
because
It's
they
like
know
it's like
that
you're
you're going to mess up along the way.
of course. The fact that you chose to be here right now in history shows me how strong you are. And our soul family around us, helping us,
Yeah,
support us, guide us. Our guides are the soul family helping us.
yeah. So, Jane, if I could take you back to the woman who was drinking and injecting, shooting up ketamine, who attempted suicide by taking all those crazy pills, the one who believed she was a burden and she wasn't worthy of even, life here on earth, what would you tell her today?
It's gonna be okay. You are so loved. It's okay.
I love
It's
that. I
okay.
love that so
Yeah.
much. Because the simplicity of the simplicity of the message, but the power of it. Because I know that sometimes I go back to my younger self, and I know when I think back of like just everything that I endured, and I just look at her and I tell her, girl,
I love you.
trust me. Yes, you are
You'll
so
be
loved
okay.
and you are so powerful. You'll be okay. I promise you. Don't despair. Don't despair. You'll be fine.
Uh,
So because in the audience right now, what do you hope someone listening who's struggling with, let's say, addiction can take away from your story?
that you can change your life.
At
You
any,
can
at any
change your life.
moment. Yeah.
And but you have to change your thoughts about yourself and your life. It's up to you. Nobody can change you, only you. And I know there's people around you trying to help you. Allow them to help you, but it's up to you. You are so powerful. And this life, it's a small part of your soul. Your soul is immense and so powerful. You chose this life. You chose this trials for your soul to grow. But you can change your life. I didn't know this, but now I know. I'm so powerful.
So I'm wondering, you just said that, and I'm wondering if this is the message. If you had a single message now, like from the entirety of your life thus far, what is that message?
That this your body isn't you. Your soul is eternal and so powerful and immense that you chose this life for the trials for your soul to grow. You can change your life. I'm telling you, it's not like fast, but you change your life. But it takes time. Affirmations change your thoughts, meditation to connect your soul, connect your team. But you can do this. You can do this. I'm telling you, you can change your life.
That is the great work.
Hmm.
All right, Jane, I'm going to take you through what I call the confidential five, and I want you to give an answer in whatever way it feels right for you, even if it's a one word answer. Feel free to expand on it as much as you can. But I really want to leave the audience with some really powerful messages. What's one belief you had to let go of in order to survive?
That I don't have to control everything to be okay.
And what's something you now know with certainty that you once thought was actually impossible?
that our soul is so powerful, that our thoughts are so powerful, our speech is so powerful.
And if someone listening feels that they're beyond saving, what would you say to them?
Just know that you are so loved, that you have a soul family at home, other side, that's around you, loving you, that if you allow yourself to change your life, you can change. You can change your life, but you have to allow yourself to love yourself because being authentic, telling your truth, for me was scary. But now I can see how that can free from me to try to control everything, control what I sell to a person or show a certain part of me. Now I am authentic. I am in a state of love now. I am love, love I am, peace I am, divine I am. And you are love, you are peace, you are divine.
And you are loved.
Hmm.
And what's one question you hope everyone listening asks themselves after listening to you with our conversation today?
A question?
One question that they would ask themselves after listening to your story.
Do I have a soul inside me? And if I do, what that mean to you? If you have a soul inside you and this body isn't you, what does that mean? If you chose this life,
That is probably one of the most foundational, profound things, connecting to the very thing that we actually are. And I remember Bob Proctor used to say that all the time. The name is a label, our sex is a label, our religion is a label, our color is a label, our profession is a label. It's all labels. And what we are behind this all of that, all that facade that we have here that society sort of applies to us, is who we truly are, and that is always our soul, the most powerful thing about us. Okay, Jane, do you do any kind of work if anybody wanted to connect with you? I know you talked about the activation, and I was lucky enough to get the gift of that. Where could people find you, connect with you, reach out to you, or even one if they have another question for you that maybe they did not hear me ask you on this show?
well, my email is janemdawson@gmail.com.
Jane M. Dawson, I'll put that in the show notes, at
Yeah.
gmail.com. Do you have any kind of social media, or do you try to stay off that?
Mhm.
The attention is only on the things that matter most. I so appreciate that about you. Is there anything I haven't asked you that you would like to tell the listeners, Jane?
No, thanks so much for this. This is beautiful.
Thank you so much. And my amazing listeners, if you enjoyed this conversation, please take a moment to follow the podcast, leave a rating and review, and share this episode with someone that you love, because every single download and every review and every share helps reach people that can hear stories like Jane's, who are searching for hope, for answers. They're looking to be inspired and have broader conversations about health and the immense power that we have to heal ourselves. You'll also find my writing on Substack, where I explore more of the deeper questions surrounding health and our nervous system, which is what Jane talked about earlier, about healing, disease, trauma, nutrition, and mindset. And those actually allow me to go beyond what we can cover in single episodes here on Health Confidential. And I would love to have you join that community. And if you're looking for personalized guidance, I also work with clients around the world through my private consultations. And you can find me on Instagram at simone.gisondi. And you can learn more through the links in the show notes. And of course, until next time, I invite you, as inspired by our conversation with Jane today, to question everything, especially the things you've never been told to question, and to learn the power that you have. This is Health Confidential. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for joining me on Health Confidential, where healing is more than just symptom relief. It's a return to the body's original blueprint, guided by truth, intuition, and cellular intelligence. If today's episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. And follow me on Instagram at simone.gisondi for daily insights, behind the scenes wisdom, and holistic inspiration. To explore working with me and to get your own custom made healing protocol, visit simonegisondi.com and book your private consultation to start working together. Remember, your body is sacred, your intuition is gold, and healing is your birthright. I'm Simone Gisondi, and this has been Health Confidential. See you in the next episode.